mentioned something else. It took you a few years. You were all guys, and then you hired your first female. The diversity. Like, I just want to talk. How did your attitude or ideas around creating a diverse workforce come forward?
It's funny because being a minority, right, and being an employer, and my business partner Randy, he's a white dude, but he grew up in Fresno, and spent most of his life here in LA. So I think he's very comfortable with diversity and having a diverse workforce. So I think it kind of came naturally, and I think we liked having people from all walks of life. One of our first key engineers was from Taiwan and needed an H-1B visa, and we sponsored him, and I remember feeling so much pride in like helping this immigrant, right? Because my parents were immigrants, having like looking at each other and saying, hey, we don't have enough women here, and we need to hire women, and okay, making a concerted effort at it.
Being conscious about
being conscious of it and making a concerted effort is half the battle. And not putting your head in the sand, and that was with our first company. And again, we were young, and so I think it was with Lucid Sight. It's funny. There's three of us were founders. Fazri, who's our CTO, is Sri Lankan. I'm Mexican, and Randy's Caucasian. But so it's like the management is diverse, right? And then our head of one of our heads of production is a woman. Our head of art is a woman. If you look around, you walk around our office, we're just a diverse office. Randy, Fazri, and I never talked about that. Like, it wasn't discussed. It just is. And part of that is being in Los Angeles, I think, and being in the video game industry. It's just part of the culture. It's like, we're gonna have a diverse culture, and it goes without saying, but we definitely think about like, about diversity. And,
I think this is so. The industry itself lends itself to bringing in diversity because creativity. Like, what are the advantages as you just kind of objectively look at it? It's like, oh, that's kind of what the industry is gaining by having this. Is there?
Yeah, the advantages of diversity.
That you've noticed, even though that just kind of happened because you guys are who you are.
I'm not an expert on this. I mean, and I haven't like given it like a lot of thought. I'm big on sort of the smell test. And sort of like that gut feeling. And to me, anytime you're in a creative endeavor, it feels like diversity of thought, diversity of backgrounds, diversity of coming from different parts of the world, diversity in language can only be positive, right? It can only create a better product. It's a global economy. Games don't get played in Los Angeles, right? Games get played globally. I couldn't tell you sort of academically this is what it brings, but it just feels right, and it feels like the product will be better if you come from a diverse background. We have a game that's a baseball game, and it's a Major League Baseball game, right? We don't have just a bunch of baseball fans making it. Now, you would think, well, that's a disadvantage. You're not going to stay true to what baseball fandom is. But as an example, our art team and our producers created a level in the game where there's a dance floor in the training session. So there's batting cages, which makes sense. There's the pitching area. There's the yoga studio. There's the weightlifting, and then they made a dance studio. I loved it. Oh, this is amazing. This is awesome. That's the type of stuff you want to see in a game, because would somebody making just a baseball game think of that? Probably not. Is it going to be fun? Probably, right? So,
What I love also, so just for leaders listening, like one of the things you just said is, when you think about creating a product and diverse backgrounds and languages and histories and all those things going into making that product, it can only be a good thing. Like you said, like so if this isn't conscious for people, be open to it or kind of just explore it, because we hear this over and over. Like there's literally no negative to being open to.
No downside.
No downside. Like that, very rarely does that happen, right? Like, so the idea, and most of us, again, this global economy, it's not just restricted to gaming or certain industries. Most of us are selling products and services
Yep.
It's everyone.
Absolutely.
So the more that we are
Yeah.
able to kind of connect with everyone, is
Yeah, and I've said this I think before at other places, and I don't know if it's controversial or not, but I feel it is actually an advantage I have that I look different. That sort of different, right? What does that mean? Well, I mean, in Los Angeles, I look like every other Angelino, right?
Yeah.
Short
You're
hair,
at home,
tattoos, but I walk into a meeting in a corporate setting. I use it as an advantage. I look at people remember me, and so sure, people have biases against me or preconceptions. I just don't worry about it. I use it the other way as a sort of an advantage, and makes me unique, and I go with it. So
yeah, I think that's also just super important for success in life. It's so not a prescription based on education or background. Like the elements, the qualities are more mindsets, are more character and quality based. And so one of the things I just love about hearing your story also is it's there wasn't a huge advantage from financial backing from your parents. There wasn't a huge, like a silver spoon,
right? Yeah.
all the way through. There wasn't. So all of those things I think are just a reminder and also an example of what's possible no matter where we come from. And so while you may have hurdles, if you're listening to this, you may have hurdles that are hard and realistically do put obstacles in your way that some other people don't have to overcome. They're not unovercomable.
That's right.
And so the attitude and the mindset, like turn it into an advantage. Like you're going to be remembered. That's key. There's 1,000 resumes going in for this, or there's 1,000 people applying for this. Who's going to remember? Like use that. That's cool. I just love that. I heard that. I heard you say that as well. So how does that apply in life in general? I think this idea, these mindsets that you have for being that have worked so well as an entrepreneur. How do they work for you as a husband, as a dad, as a
I like to think that I'm not really a different person, right? That it's kind of like I'm sort of goal oriented at work. I'm also goal oriented as a parent, as a husband. I try to sort of live my life being positive. And exuding positivity.
Can I stop for because this is really so how what's something we can do on a daily basis to build the muscle of being a more positive person? I think that's a really important thing, but it's how do you find that supports you being that person on a daily basis?
I mean, it's a good question. I'll admit that I feel like it comes naturally to me, but there are things that I personally that I do. One of the things I like to do is to sort of find gratitude in just sort of like the little things, which as I've gotten older actually has become easier to do. It's as simple as yesterday somebody sent me a holiday gift, and it was a bottle of wine, and I got home and my, regular crazy day in the afternoon, whatever. And I would just stuff it away, and I was like, you know what? They gave me this, I should appreciate it. I opened it. I had a glass. It was great. I normally don't drink on a Tuesday night, cause I gotta wake up the next day early. I gotta work out. But I really wanted to appreciate the gift. And that's just a little moment that I took that was nice, right? Like it's life is stressful, life is crazy, things come at you. I had a moment to just chill and have a glass of wine, watch some TV. I took advantage of it.
Yep, and I think this idea, because you had said in your beginning of defining success, have a goal, go for it, or head, and so. But it's important to break down if the goal's over there, there's time in between. So how do you enjoy the journey? One of those things is staying positive for the journey. One of the ways to stay positive in this case is being grateful for little things that are happening.
For sure. The other thing I do personally is I actually say this mantra to myself sometimes is it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. Right? Pace yourself. So no matter what the goal, we all find ourselves to get impatient. you know, whether it's like a fitness goal or a work goal or a goal as a parent, you know, it doesn't matter. You get impatient sometimes, and you know, that's what I like to tell myself. So it's like working out. Like say you have a goal to, I don't know, like, you know, run a marathon, right? And you're training for it, and a morning you get up and you just don't feel like running, right? Be kind to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, right? Like, it's all right. I'm gonna take the morning off.
Okay, so
you know?
this is important. How do we because we all do this. We all get that negative self-talk. We all feel that.
Yeah.
Being kind to
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
What does that look like in practice? You wake up that morning, you don't want to work out. What is it that you do to be kind in that moment so that you don't add the rest of that
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah, I mean, typically it's fine for me. It's like, you know, first of all, literally say it to yourself.
Just remind, hey, right now, like,
yeah, you know, let's be kind to yourself. You need the day off. You need the whatever. It's you know, and yeah, I don't know, just putting myself in that mindset. And you know, a lot of times finding a little distraction to sort of spend the time and get your brain rewired, you know, whatever that might be for somebody, you know, whether it's, you know, watching TV or playing a game or, you know, walking your dog, whatever it is.
Having some sort of like outlet.
That
just gives you a break. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I think that's really key because it doesn't have to be hours and hours, but it can be a walk with the dog or a video game or a book or working out, like something to just be able to shift and rewire that. That's I think that's really important. Like, this is a marathon. Everything in life, being a good parent, being a good husband, a good business owner.
It is a journey, and I think you said it. It really is about the journey. The journey is the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's so funny because like normally when you do achieve a goal, like it's kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah, that's a tough word. I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of times, if you at least that's for me. I've found myself to be in that, and it's like, well, you know, sort of getting here and all of the struggle and getting through all of those things, that's what feels good.